This segment brought to you by Kansas Corn. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer. I have the opportunity to visit with Michael Chisam. He's president and CEO of Kansas Ethanol near Lyons, Kansas. Got an opportunity to go through your plant today, and it's really quite fascinating. Before we start on how the process works, I see a lot of construction going on around here. You're expanding.
We are expanding the process. We're adding some grain storage, and we are also expanding our ethanol production capabilities.
Well, you run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Currently, your capacities are about what?
We produce about 65 million gallons per year of fuel-grade ethanol, and we'll be expanding that to approximately 80 million gallons a year, and we process about 65,000 bushels per day.
And that includes both grain sorghum and corn.
That is a combination of those two grains. That is correct.
About what are those ratios of grain sorghum to corn?
Right now, due to the decreasing availability of sorghum, we're grinding 60% corn and 40% milo. During the majority of the year, we're up around 70 to 80% grain sorghum.
And of course, Kansas is a grain sorghum state. The reason you do that is availability and price?
That is correct.
But by including grain sorghum, one of your major products you sell is distillers grain, and that comes out the other end of your plant. Does changing that ratio affect the ability to market your distillers grain?
No, we have a close relationship with the cattle feedlot owners that we supply, and we typically will inform them of any grain changes that we're going to make ahead of time so they can adjust their rations.
You have 3 different ways you sell distillers grain.
We do. Most of our distillers grains leave the facility in the wet form, which is about 65% moisture. All of that is going to local feedlots. We do dry some of our distillers grains, reducing that moisture content down to about 10 or 11%. That also can be used in feedlots, but it can obviously be transported further away to feedlots, typically in the Texas panhandle or slightly out of our region. We also take our dried distillers grains and run it through an extrusion process to produce a pellet, or what they call in the industry a range cube. And that is marketed to to the range cattle folks, and we also produce a 200-pound tub, which can be used for the same purpose.
That product is a bit unique to your plant.
It is unique. There aren't very many facilities that actually take the dried distillers grain and produce the pellets and tubs that we produce. There are several people that will increase the bulk density by running it through a pellet mill. But typically that is strictly for bulk density and for shipping purposes, typically overseas. The quality of the pellet isn't that great. With our extrusion process, the production rate is slower, but we produce a high quality pellet that has very few fines, and our customers are quite happy with the product and the performance that they get with their cattle.
We're visiting with Michael Chisam. He's president and CEO of Kansas Ethanol. We're at Lyons, Kansas. This is Kyle Bauer reporting.
Tarwater Farm and Home has been family owned and operated since its beginning in 1978. What you need for farm and agriculture, lawn and garden, clothing and footwear, and so much more. You'll be surprised at what you'll find in this huge store. They have what you need and lots of it. So come take a look. You'll discover that customer service is first and foremost. Always has been with the Tarwaters. Tarwater Farm and Home, 4107 North Topeka Boulevard.